show. It is the Demetria K Show, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great, but we can always be greater, right? Yeah. And so today, we are going to be talking about Miss Mama Tina Knowles, the mother of, some people would say one of, I say one now, BHive don't come for me, one of the world's greatest entertainers, okay? That's arguable. You can argue if you want to, whatever, but I'm just telling you what some people would say. I like Beyonce. Anyway, I digress. So Mama Tina Knowles Lawson, she is executive, or she has executive produced a documentary called The Profiled Black Man, or Profiled the Black Man, rather, okay? It's called Profiled the Black Man. And so we are going to get into it a little bit of why she did it. And really, I'm like shocked that there's so much backlash against the mother of the BHive. I was shocked to know that. And I didn't know that until Donovan actually just told me. I'm not on social media a lot nowadays, and so I, don't get everything. But anyway, before we get into that, Donovan, what say you?
All right. Welcome you guys to the Demetria K podcast. This is a podcast. She always gets that confused because she does so much work. And Demetria, we appreciate the work that you do to wake up the masses. But yeah, this is something that was kind of crazy. I got wind of it, a couple of weeks ago. Remember, she had announced something like that a couple of weeks ago, and we're busy doing our thing. And so it would kind of pass your mind. But to me, what got me talking about it was the responses from our Black women. So before we get into that, please do us a favor, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and put this on your platform so we can get the message out there. And tell us what you guys think in the comments. I mean, you guys think that we don't look at the comments. We do look at the comments, and we do respond to the comments. So tell us what you think about this issue in regards to Tina Knowles, the mother, the queen mom of the BHive, getting backlash from the 304s and all the other things that are out there, whatever, because that's who it has to be. Because what I'm going to say is this: as a woman, every one of these women have a father. So are they saying that their dads ain't shit and all this other? You're telling me that? So let's get into that. It's going to be interesting.
All right. So and Donovan, sound, I can hear you, but it's a little bit kind of not muffled, but just it seems like you're far away. So anyway, while you get her to take care of that, let me go ahead and get into it.
Better?
Much better. All right. So as I said a second ago, Tina Knowles Lawson, she is she's the executive producer, rather, of Profiled the Black Man. It is a series that is on the Discovery Plus channel, and I guess it's maybe a 4-part series, if I'm not mistaken. And so she says, and I saw when she went on, I think it was Gayle King interviewed her a couple of weeks back when she was talking about it. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty dope. Yeah. She's making a documentary about Black men and uplifting Black men. And so she basically says that the documentary is to, and you guys know what? I talk so fast because I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. Okay, so she says the documentary is to dispel the myths about the Black men. For one, that Black men are dangerous and they're criminals and they should be feared. And so she basically wanted to combat that with this documentary to give a positive outlook about Black men, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times when you watch the media, you do see Black men, Black people in general, but Black men depicted in the most savage manner possible, right? And so, of course, we know that when images about Black people go forth, most people tend to believe that's who Black people are, because as Dr. Claude Anderson says, Black people own less than 3% of the media, and because we do not own the lion's share of the media, like white people, Asians, they have their own outlets, Hispanics and things like that. Mm-hmm. We do not have an opportunity to get or to disseminate our images and our proper information. Now I know we got a lot of YouTube channels and things like that, but I would imagine a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I should get my numbers, but I would imagine maybe most people watch regular news than they do YouTube channels. I don't know. I could be wrong. And so we're kind of behind when it comes to that kind of thing. And so her documentary, I thought when she was explaining it, is very necessary. And so she is taking the lead on that and making sure our Black men, and I say our because they belong to us as Black women and Black people, she's taking the charge to make sure that Black men are seen in a positive light. Okay.
What the hell is wrong with that?
What's wrong with that, right? So, as I was informed today by Donovan, there are a whole host of YouTube videos from, some people will call them the divestors. That means Black women who are divesting from Black men and they want to explore other options as far as partners, ages.
Get the hell on.
What have you. And, you know, women in general who just do not, for whatever reason it is. I'm not saying the reason is not valid, but I'm just saying for whatever reason, they do not like Black men. And so they have labeled Mama Tina Knowles Lawson as a mammy and a whole host of other derogatory things, which I was shocked by that. Like, I'm not shocked by a lot of things, but this was very shocking to me because here this woman is, and from what I haven't watched it yet, the profile of the Blackness, I haven't watched it yet, but from what this woman said, I couldn't find anything that would make me raise an eyebrow like, okay, well, I don't know about that, Tina. I was like, well, that's cool because we need that, right? Especially when you have somebody like Kamal Bell, who was just spearheading the documentary trying to continue to destroy the legacy of Dr. Bill Cosby. That went over like a lead balloon because I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. So I thought, okay, well, that is great, right? But here it is, a lot of Black women, and one of them you guys might know, and I won't say too many names, but her name is Tanya TKO. Probably like she was kind of livid. I did not watch her video. I just tend not to watch a lot of people's like that video because I just think that they have issues that they need to resolve.
Daddy
it's almost
issues.
Like who hurt you type of thing, and maybe you need to go some therapy. I don't know, right? But she and a whole host of other people are upset with Tina and have, deduced her down to a mammy, right? She is partially responsible for producing not one, but two mega recording artists and a whole host of other things. I know Beyonce does a whole lot of things, but Solange is also her daughter, and she, is a Grammy Award winning artist and all of that as well. Yeah. So this is not something it's just sitting, up on the internet and yip yapping and bumping her gums. Like, this lady has a profile. She has a dossier that says I am about this life and I do produce good results, right? And so to hear that she has been deduced down to a mammy by those who don't like Black men being uplifted, that disgusts me. And for this time that we are here, we are going to talk about that. And I want to say this before I give it to Donovan. I know some Black women will be mad and some will come for me, but you know what? I ain't scared of you.
Well, again, once again, and it's nothing new, the backbone of the Black community, which is true, the Black woman, is being used by Zaddy and the powers that be to once again create havoc within our community and to disparage our families and break these things up. I mean, in this documentary, I've seen parts of it. Where is she lying? What is wrong with uplifting Black men? But it seems to me a lot of these Black women have no problem uplifting Black women, right? Oh, girl, you got to be on code, whatever. And if you say anything against that, there's a problem. But the minute that's somebody, the queen mother of the BHive, who, by the way, you guys, got screwed over by her own husband and still has the wherewithal to say, I had a good man. She hasn't given up. She remarried and all this other stuff, and she was done dirty. But she happens to know out of common sense that there are still good Black men out there. Are there some bad Black men out there? Yes. Are there some bad Black women out there? Yes. So on, so forth. That's life that we live. But ladies, especially, and I'm talking to my Black queens, and not everybody could be a queen, by the way. Some of you guys are jesters. Some of you guys are 304s and whatever else. That's just how it is. Ladies, you all have fathers. Some of you guys that sign on to this BS about black men ain't shit have sons. And Demetra and I get in arguments or discussions all the time. How the hell can you talk about black men ain't nothing and blame a man that's not there for the reason why your son is wreaking havoc in the community? Even when the black man is not there, he gets blamed. When are we going to take responsibility, ladies? So what I'm saying is, in conclusion of what I'm saying, is every one of you guys have a father. Every one of you, well, not every one of you, but some of you guys have brothers. Some of you have nephews. Some of you have sons. So is Tina Knowles correct that there are black men out there that are good black men, positive black men, doing what they're supposed to do? Or is the problem the fact that you don't want to take responsibility for the decisions that you make? If your husband or baby daddy ain't shit, I'm sure he wasn't shit when you met him, and you still laid down with him.
Yeah, so yeah, you said a mouthful, brother, but I just think we need to just really just examine this here. And y'all know how we feel on the Demetra K show. We, like I said, our goal is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community. So I say that to say that we are not anti-Black men and we are not anti-Black women. We believe that we need each other. And so we try to foster a conversation that would help us get together and build and raise this nation as we have been called to do so many years ago. Even, you know, I don't take it back to Marcus Garvey. He said, up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will.
What you will.
We cannot do that unless we as Black men and women get together. We need to stop all this infighting, divisiveness, and all of these schisms that we have on and going on. And so, as I said, I purposely try not to watch a lot of content from other people, because I like to have my own original, you know, thoughts and not spew off talking points from everybody else. And I'm one of those people who like to read and go off my own experiences and stuff, so I can just have, I guess, a more of a first-hand,
an honest opinion, just a basic honest opinion.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so, I'm gonna try to. No, you know what? I'm gonna take the gloves off. Okay.
What? Uh-oh, she's going paws off, y'all.
No, because it's like, me and you always talk about this. You're more black and white. I'm more in the gray. I like to see things from all angles, because I think that we should. Right.
You always play the devil's advocate. Yeah.
I think for us to not acknowledge that, and I don't want to talk about Black people as a whole, I want to talk about Black men. But Black men get a very bad rap, especially in the media. I think for us not to acknowledge that is gross negligence, regardless of how we feel. Because I agree with you, Donovan. Tina Knowles was done dirty, and I don't want to get into her background, but, you know, needless to say, Beyonce's and Daddy and them did her wrong. And, you know, she rebounded. She's with a good man now, a good Black man. What's his name? Richard Lawson. He's also, you know, got a portfolio of his own as an actor and all of that. So I too have been done wrong by Black men. Now, when I say Black men, I'm talking about men that I have dated, have been cheated on, and you name it. I could be here all day, but you know what I always say, Donovan? I still want to be with a Black man. I don't see Demetra K with nobody else but a Black man, right?
Is it DeBarge a Black man?
Who? Is
DeBarge Black? I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying.
Don't start your mess, okay? Okay. Right. So when I hear Black women go after Black men, and I'm saying in all fairness, because I know we're just talking about Black men. I hate it when I hear Black men do it to Black women. But when I hear that, I wonder, are you doing it for clicks and likes? Do you genuinely not like Black men? Because as Donovan said, you know, and because you hear Black women say this, so if it's good for Black men, it should be good for your Black ass too, Black women. Ain't your daddy Black? Because we hear Black women say, well, your mama Black. What you mean? Ain't your daddy Black? Your granddaddy, your uncle, your brother, somebody. So you mean to tell me that you lump them in the same boat?
Right, they ain't shit.
as these black men that you were trying to divest from. And I get it. If you want to divest from a black man, that is your business. Nobody can make you be with a black man. I feel sorry for you, but that's your choice. But for you to, get on the internet and dog black men, and then you dogging this black woman, Miss Lawson, who is trying to uplift. She has a platform to do that, But I also want to know this. How many of you black women that are mad with Miss Tina, how many of y'all was, I'm a single lady.
Hello.
Y'all was singing Me, Myself, and I. How many of y'all was singing all of Beyonce's songs when she was, any of that she was talking about? But now all of a sudden her mama, and I know, I would just imagine, and I've heard Beyonce's music, I'd imagine that Beyonce's on board with this, because I hear Beyonce uplifting black men all the time.
All the time.
Her husband. So,
and real quick, if you look at the interview with Tina Knowles, I know you didn't see the whole thing. She attributed a reason why she did the documentary was to her because of her son-in-law, Jay-Z.
Right, yeah, she did say that. I saw when she was doing the interview, so she did say it was, in homage to her son-in-law. And, I feel one way or the other about her son-in-law, but that's not the issue. He's still a black man, and he is doing, great things, at least for his family. All right, which is what he's called to do. All right, so I forgot what I was saying for y'all.
You talk about the music with Beyonce.
So I know a lot of those women that don't like what Tina's doing and not calling her mammy. I know y'all was probably dancing and shaking your butt to Beyonce's anthems and her music and all of that. And so now she is bringing a platform to black men to uplift them. Y'all calling her mammies? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like how much hate do you have? Like, I'm one of those people, and Donovan, you have heard me say this a lot. Why do people choose misery when peace is an option? Why do you sit on YouTube or whatever platform you have every time you put your mug on the camera and then delve into misery, talking bad about black men or black women? To me, that's misery. I personally don't like to do that. And I'm one of those people, and I've said this, you can go back as far as y'all can find any videos. I love black men. I want a black man. And I need a black man. And I don't need nobody else to try to convince me that I don't, right? I don't teach my daughter that she doesn't need a black man or she should go get with somebody else. Like, no, your daddy, first of all, is 10 Shades of Midnight, okay?
Exactly.
You got the blackest daddy walking on this planet Earth. So you should be out there looking for a black man, because that man is going to understand you, right? And also, before I get us to Donovan, for you women out there talking, I'm going to go get me a Brad or a Miguel or whoever the hell it is. Y'all don't read the newspapers and watch the news feed? Well, Brad is choking y'all to death too.
Killing them.
Y'all acting like y'all going to go off and be swept off your feet and be treated like Cinderella, and all this other stuff by these other people. Shoot, to you, I'm going to keep it real with you. To them, you're nothing but a fetish. You're nothing but a fetish. Most of them Brads and all them, Lynn, Nguyen and all of them, they ain't taking you home for Thanksgiving. And if they do, they mama and them talking about you behind your back. So
Strom Thurmond's a good example.
Real about where you are with black men. Because I guarantee you, well, I don't guarantee you, but at least your grandmama was probably with a black man. And I bet you didn't hear your grandmama disparaging black men. You might have heard your mama do it, depending on how old you are. But I'm one of those people. I want to use my voice to stop the insanity. Because we are, as black people, at the bottom of the totem pole. And we are
every category.
Everywhere.
In every category.
We are the only race of people, men and women, who talk so openly about how we do not like, want, or need each other, but you don't ever hear, I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard
it
either.
Other races of women or men talk so bad about the opposite, their counterparts. I don't hear that.
Right. And the sad thing is, because we don't do a lot of traveling outside of the United States, outside of Jamaica, outside of Cancun, Mexico, which is to me still the North America, you will find when you go to these other countries, the way that, like you said, the way the media portrays Black people very negatively. Now, ladies, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you the truth because I am a traveler. I've been traveling all of my life. I don't care how much you keep calling yourselves queens and giving you guys all these great names and getting all these degrees and all this other stuff. Black women are perceived overseas as whores. That is a fact. You guys are not top of the list when it comes to men. And I'm not saying all men. We're not encompassing everything. But if you guys understand what I'm saying, you guys are at the bottom of the list. It's just how it goes. That's just how it is. That's the reality. This delusional life that you guys have made for yourselves has gotten so bad that you don't even want to uplift your own Black men, and you put down other women that do. But when a Black man isn't doing this or isn't doing that, you guys are the first to shout, you're the first to scream or whatever. And Dimitri and I get into this from time to time. At the end of the day, you guys are the ones that are picking the fathers of your children. You guys are the ones not asking the questions. I love Black women. Dimitri will tell you right now. No, right. In fact, not just Dimitri. Anybody will tell you right now. Nobody has ever seen me outside of a Black woman. Nobody's ever seen me outside of that. Not saying I wouldn't do it. I just haven't met one that has attracted me. But the thing is, ladies, we've got to stop this insanity of just running our people down, men and women. I've never seen such vitriol than I've seen now in my old age at what we have taught our children. And some people have taught their children in regards to each other. Here these women are now, and I'm sorry, if you guys have been paying attention, look at these women on these young girls on YouTube and Twitter and OnlyFans and stuff. What's the difference between what you're doing on OnlyFans and prostitution? What's the difference? We have a whole generation of women doing all this stuff, and nobody's saying anything about it. How do you build with a person that wants to compete? You can't. Look at any other group of people. I'm not saying they don't do OnlyFans. They do. But when you're looking at a Black man and you're saying he ain't shit, he's struggling, he ain't got no money. Why is that? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that this man is doing the same thing that you're doing, getting a bag, he's out here hustling or doing drugs, and I'm not condoning that. People do that because of the racism within this country against our specific group. How do you expect a Black man to make six figures when the average Black man makes only $40,000 a year? Numbers don't lie. You guys are living in a fantasy. You need to wake up. And then here's a woman doing something in a positive way, and this woman has no sons. I don't know. I'm very sure she has nephews. She has a Black husband. She's had 2 Black husbands. Why would this woman, who, being her first husband, put her children, left his good paying job to manage their children, to be one of the most successful artists in the United States, or in the world, by the way?
So I want to address the way you say Black women are seen as whores all over the world. Now, I don't know about that. I have not heard that. So that's your experience. I don't know. But I will say this. We, just like Black men, are not the thugs, the criminals, and the dope dealers and all of that. There's some. And I wouldn't even venture to say that it's most Black men, just like I wouldn't venture to say there's most Black women who are, in your words, that you say you hear, whores, okay? Now, I think we also need to go back to why that depiction of Black men and women is out there, and that is simply because, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, we're gonna use some reference work here, okay? We own less than 3% of the media. Therefore, the depictions that we do see of Black people on these mainstream media outlets are not good. Case in point is when they wanted to write this Asian crime bill. We saw a whole host of videos being shown of Black men or Black women assaulting Asian people from New York all the way to California. And that's what the media put before us. And so right after that, they ushered in this crime bill. And so what better to do than to continue to depict Black people as these savages when we know that Black people are not the original savage. Y'all know who the original savage is. The original savage is the one that charted us all the way from Africa through the Middle Passage over here to endure and still endure what we are enduring as Black people in America. But because we are not the ones, I should say, that control the media, or as you know, they say in the Communist Manifesto, the ones that control the means to production. We don't control that. It's a fact. We are always on the receiving end of the negativity. And so back to your point of we are seen as whores around the world. Well, I mean, that's just because they see us that way. That doesn't mean we have to behave that way. Now, of course, we know they'll take the women twerking and, you know, doing the most salacious stuff. Or hell, you can go on Instagram and see it all day long. But I say this all the time. I personally do not know of any Black woman who bends her ass over on a camera or Instagram or any of that other stuff. I personally do not know women who are out there doing what the media portrays us to do. I also personally do not know of any Black men. I know some, like in the past when they did it, but I don't know of any Black men who are out there hitting people over the head, and snatching purses. And so I say all of that to say we need to deal in percentages. And unfortunately, when 97% of the media shows, you know, what seems to be 100% of Black people doing ill things, then that comes off that way. But with us in the Black media, new Black media, whatever you want to call it, we need to use our opportunities. And like Miss Tina Knowles did, we need to use the opportunity to uplift each other. So again, I say to any Black woman that got a problem with Tina Knowles, she ain't the problem. You are. And matter of fact, you are nothing but white supremacy in blackface doing their job. Like, I don't even know why white supremacy even needs to do anything to Black people anymore, because we have so many Black people signing up to do it. And I say this to any Black man or any Black woman that talks bad about your counterpart, you should rather cut your tongue out before you do that the next time.
Well, let me codify that. When I said that women are perceived like that, it's exactly what you said. It's what the United States programs out there in the media to the world. And like I said, I'm not speaking for the world or nothing like that, but we get these negative tropes. Remember when Sierra was at that fashion thing in Paris or Italy, and she was twerking with Megan Thee Stallion and all that other stuff, and all these prominent white people were looking at her? This is what they show out there to make it seem like, oh, these women are doing these things and whatever. And we know that stuff's not true. We know that it's not true. But that's, like you said, we only control 3% of the media. But the delusion that a lot of these Black women have is the fact that, okay, you want a man with six-figure, okay, men ain't nothing, we're not this, we're not that. You know that Ray, who's running the streets doing drugs or doing robberies around the neighborhood, has 3 children already by 2 different women. But you're about to have a baby with him too. So we're talking about the decisions we make, ladies, in regards to the outcome of the guys that we're dealing with. I get an argument all the time with women in regards to this. Malcolm X said that the Black woman is the most unprotected woman in the world, right? Which is true. And he said that in the 1960s. But how do you hold a Black man accountable for that kind of situation when y'all don't even let us know who you're dating, what business? How can we protect you if we don't know?
And I hear what you're saying, but and I want to kind of keep it on task here, because I think what we're starting to do is, assign blame, and there's a lot of blame to go around.
Absolutely.
But I think more importantly, we need to understand that what did it say? Too much is given, much is required. And
exactly.
I love Tina Knowles because she understands it between her daughter and her son, who she doesn't call her son-in-law, her son, Jay-Z. They are sitting on billions of dollars.
Billions.
So I'm pretty sure Tina Knowles could be doing anything but. She could say, I got mine. I don't need to speak up on behalf of black men. I got me a good black man. My daughter got a good black. I don't need to do this. I'm going to go sail away to the Seychelles and do whatever I want to do. But the fact that she is doing this to raise awareness, this is what we all should be doing. It should be a calling to us all to stop effing around and stop, focusing on the low-hanging fruit. And you know what I really hate about this job? Not that I don't like my job, what I do here, because I have a lot of jobs, goddammit. This job. What I really hate about it is that if I am not twerking, if I'm not having a gutter mouth and, talking under my clothes and talking under everybody else. If I'm not doing that, then I don't get that much traffic to this channel. But you know what? I don't care if it's only one person watching this and getting good information and they're learning something they didn't know before. Yeah. I am good with that. But this should be a call to us all as black people to stop and assess where we truly are as black people and say, is what I'm saying building black people
or tearing it down?
Tearing black people down.
Right.
That's where we need to be, because I'm telling y'all can look at my stuff. I'm not on here tearing black men down, and I'm not on here tearing black women down, because for one, I'm a black woman and I got a black daddy who I love more than life itself. I got black brothers that get on my nerves sometimes, and I will stand up for them. Yeah, I got nephews, all of that. So I'm just saying, I personally have made a vow not to do that. You will not find a video or any of that of me tearing black men down or tearing black women down. But I will say this, as a black woman, I feel that it is my duty, and I know I look young, but I'm finna be 51. I wasn't even trying to rhyme, okay? But I feel like I have the experience to be able to try to hold black women accountable as best I can. I would be remiss in my calling if I sat in this chair and did not say, as black women, we are called to a higher standard. And if we are going to call ourselves queens and be able to put the crown on our head, we need to act accordingly. But unfortunately, we do have some sisters, I won't say a lot of sisters, but some of the sisters that get the attention who put these crowns on their heads that is made of Cuban zirconia because they act like gestures, okay?
Yes.
But that's another conversation. But I'm saying we need to get in the habit of, when I want to get on this thing and press play and I want to say something bad about my counterpart, ask myself, what is this going to do to the image of my black man? If I get on here talking about how horrible he is and all of that, we got to really think about those things.
Well, let me ask you this for a question. First of all, when it comes to your traffic, no, you don't get like immediate traffic like that. Channels like yours that spew knowledge and stuff, you get traffic over time as people who are searching for the knowledge get it. And so I've been monitoring yours and my thing, and I noticed that over time, you get a lot of views and stuff over time. But let me ask you this question. Why is it do you think that if I downgrade my counterpart, I'm going to be any better? Why do you think a lot of women think that that's going to work, and men, vice versa, whatever? Why do you think that's going to work?
There is money in these YouTube streets, and I'm saying YouTube because it's primarily any social media, but there's money in these internet streets to talk bad about Black women. And you know why I say that? Because imagine if you were a Black man and you had a platform talking horribly about white women, you'd have been shut down a long time ago.
Shut down.
The same thing is true for a Black woman. If she was to talk, have her whole platform was predicated on talking bad about white men, she'd have been gone a long time ago.
Real quick. Real quick. So basically, you're saying like Tommy Sotomayor. I always wondered why he wasn't shut down, and he's still on the thing today.
Well, he is shut down quite a bit. He just keeps starting back over.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? How quickly they shut him down. It's like that message you can tell.
He's been shut down. Yeah, he's been shut down, and I listen. I'm one of those people. I don't want to tread on anybody's free speech per se. But free speech is not necessarily free all the time. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is you're saying, what is it costing your people by getting on here all the time to say Black man ain't this, Black women ain't that, and what is it? There's a cost to that. Mm-hmm. There's a cost to when it really comes down to it. All these people you doing this for. When they really show you that they don't really love you like that, and then you try to come back to your people, that's going to cost you something, because the internet is forever. But people do it because there's money to do that. Like I said, I don't care if I have thousands of views on here. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, okay? Because there is money that comes with it. But I would rather have one or two people who are faithful and watch and get something out of it, because as the saying goes, each one teach one. Mm-hmm. Doesn't say each one teach 20,000, which is nice, but just start with one. Mm-hmm. And so if there was not money to do that, I guarantee you people will find something. If it was money to talk positive about your people, everybody would be doing it. But that's primarily why I don't say primarily, it's a big reason why they do it, but primarily why they do it is because they have self-hate, and they have no dignity, and they have no pride for their people.
Right, and that brings up another question without going away from where we're talking about. Remember in the 90s, you had the groups like Queen Latifah, she was part of the Native Tongues, Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemy, Boogie Down Production. They were talking positive, black stuff. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like within a year, everything went to gangster rap, which was... I'm not saying all gangster rap is good. It's not. I mean, there's certain things that you want to do, but, everything went negative. And you talk about billions of dollars was made to, just so sexism and all kinds of stuff within our own community, and it does make you wonder, like, the negativity sells as long as it's in your community, because name me in the 90s. I think you were there. I think you were 7 or 8. I'm not sure, but around that time. But name me a white rapper or Asian rapper or a Hispanic rapper that was misogynistically talking about their community during that time.
I can't really think of too many, but we have always been controlled. And when I say we, I mean from the artists to the people who listen. We've always been controlled by the media, the music industry, and all of that. And so you have to ask yourself, why would the record company pay so much money for a lot of the stuff you can't even understand nowadays? But why would they pay so much money? Like, what is the ulterior motive for they to pay these kids that you never even heard of? They seem like they've come out of nowhere. These multi-million-dollar record deals to say and rap about the things they are rapping about for men and women. What's in it? Well, what's in it is we know that music, when it inculcates into your psyche, that it does control you. Music is very intoxicating, and it subliminally does things to you. And so if you listen to I'm a bad bitch, I'm a city girl, and all this, and whatever the dudes say they are,
right? You
are a shooter, or you're gunner, and all. You listen to that over and over and over and over and over again, Repetition is the best way to believe you are something, right? Those of us who study affirmations,
candidate.
those of us who study affirmations, we know that when we say things, and as y'all who follow the Bible say, speak things are not as though they were. Once you continue to speak those things, guess what? You believe it, and it starts to manifest, and eventually you become that. And so, to my original point, when these record companies pay these artists all that money, put it to a nice song, and you doing all this, you got a little dance to it. Eventually, you start hearing the little girls talking about they bad bitches. I'm a city girl, and I'm having hot girl summer. And then all they want to do is play with their wigs and their eyelashes and twerk, and and our boys running around sagging, and they got all but it's like, that's what they're telling you are, but what are you doing to improve your life and the life of your people? And I say this too, I'm going to get back to you. I say this because I don't have any small kids. My child will be almost 30, or she's almost 30. But I don't understand for the life of me how you parents, and I'm going to call y'all out. Y'all are irresponsible as a mug. How y'all parents allow y'all babies from 1 to 18 to sit on the internet and their cell phones to scroll and get into all these groups and social medias. How do you allow your children to do that? And I ask parents this all the time, that when they don't have a problem with their kids being on the internet and they don't know what they're doing, I said, would you allow your daughter to be in the back alley with a strange dude in the middle of the night?
Right.
Hell no. I said, well, what's the difference between her being on a cell phone on these apps and stuff? You have no idea who she's talking to. I said, the only thing that's different is that she's not physically there with him, but he mentally and emotionally touch her or him. It's not, specific to girls, but to boys too. And so I ask parents, why are you so comfortable allowing your children to listen to any and everything? Like, y'all remember when we was coming up, our parents, they had albums in a paper bag. You definitely couldn't open up an Ohio Players album. Nah, and they didn't listen to all of that in front of us. Like, I didn't hear my mom listen to Millie Jackson or any of those other people, because there was a time and a place, and you're going to be a child, and you don't need to know everything. I'm not saying my mom and dad were saints, but if they weren't, I didn't know they were not. Nowadays, kids sit up and watch their mama and daddy do a smoking weed and they're smoking with them and all of that. So that's part of the problem, right? We got a lot of work to do. And so I know you too, Donovan, we sit on this thing, we want to be productive in what we say to help somebody, period. Right. But, again, what is wrong? I just don't see how all of these women are just upset that this woman is uplifting Black men. You have a problem when your own people have bought into white supremacy. You have a problem uplifting somebody when you aren't uplifted yourself. Exactly. I'm not, because see, as a Black woman, I know who I am. I know that I can only be a Black woman partially because of my Black daddy. So I'm not going to run around here talking bad about Black men. For one, because I feel good about myself. I love my dad. Was my dad perfect? No, he was not. And nobody's perfect. But I'm grateful that he is my dad. And I always say this, regardless of what we go through as Black people. However, I'm glad I'm Black. I always say that. And so when you don't feel good about yourself as a Black woman, then you're not going to feel good about your Black man. And also, you're going to believe you can attach whatever you want to they. You're going to believe that your Black man is toxic and he this and he that. And I'm not saying there's some Black men that are not. There are. But you will believe what white supremacy tells you about your Black man. And you also notice, if you watch TV, which I do not, but the times that I have seen commercials and stuff, all I see are interracial couples on commercials. Mostly it's a Black woman with a white man. You rarely see a Black man with a with a white woman. So you have to ask yourself, what are they really subconsciously trying to tell us about our black man, that he doesn't count, that he should be removed out of the picture. What are we saying here? See, we got to be so in tune with what's going into our minds. And y'all who go to church, I do not, but I do know this Bible. It says to guard your mind. And when you intake anything that is so negative about your counterpart, you are not guarding your mind. And then you eventually begin to spew that off as if it's gospel, and you do a better job than white people in dogging your black man or woman.
We have this trope with black women are the backbone of the community, which is true. Black women are the backbone of this and the backbone of that. Well, I'm just going to talk as a black man. Just as much as a lot of women out there say that black men ain't shit, black men can say the exact same thing about black women. But we're not going to